Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Today's Monday. It's my day off, and I had planned on getting a lot of stuff done for the channel. That didn't happen because Netflix released a new show called The Night Agent. It's a thriller. It's kind of like 24, and in fact, if you remember 24, the main character was played by Kiefer Sutherland. In this, the main character's name is Peter Sutherland, so certainly some likely intentional connections there. It was amazing, and my wife and I binged the whole thing over the last few days, all 10 episodes, so good. Highly recommend that show on Netflix. Before I get to this story, I want to share DJ Squish of the channel Driller and Squish sent me a few cards. I'm a Donruss Diamond Kings collector, particularly autographs, so he sent me Tom Brunansky autographed. Bruno, special to me because he was on that 91 Red Sox team where he caught the line drive diving into the corner. And I remember this so clearly. I'll find the video. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
Line down the right field line, hooking toward the corner. Brunansky! He made the catch in the corner. A great catch by Tom Brunansky. And the Red Sox are the champions of the American League East in 1990.
And I'll put it up. He dove into the corner and you couldn't see him catch it, or maybe you just barely able to see him catch it. And that sent the Red Sox to the playoffs. And back then there's no wild card, so you either won the division and went to the playoffs, or you went home. Right? I think that's how it was. And he caught that, and it was late September, and that sent the Red Sox to the playoffs, which was awesome. So he sent me this Bruno auto. He also sent me a Brett Saberhagen, not autographed yet, and a Nolan Ryan, not autographed yet. And I didn't have this Nolan Ryan, so I'm excited. Thank you, DJ Squish. Very much appreciated, sir. All right, so this story today comes to us from John Morton on Twitter. John Morton, I've been following for quite a while. He collects vintage golf stuff, and I'm not a golfer. I haven't golfed in 20 years. But I like the history of golf. It's really interesting. I golfed a lot in college, like 3 times a week probably. I had a golf membership at my local club, and it was $140. Unlimited golf for me, and my friend also got one. And we would just go a lot and play 9 or 18 holes. And this was at Brunswick Golf Club, and $140 for an entire year, unlimited golf. And then when I graduated college, I got a bill. I'm no longer a college student, and the bill shot up to $1,800 for unlimited golf. And so I was like, okay, that's enough golf for me. So John was a professional golfer, or I'm trying to think, his Twitter specifies professional golfer, I think he's a golf professional, not a professional golfer, which I think means he was not a tour professional, but like a professional at a golf course, I think. John will let me know, I'm sure, where I've gone wrong here. So John posted that a couple back on February 15th or so, that he had a 120-year-old baseball card, 110-year-old baseball card that had never been graded by any company, PSA, SGC, BGS, ever been graded, period. And he bought one at an auction house, and he was sending it off to be graded. And so I private messaged him, and I said, I want to know this story. If it gets graded, can I do a video on it? And he said, yeah, that's fantastic. So he sent me a picture of it. And I said, hey, is that Connie Mack's autograph on it? And so this card is a 1910S Wanamaker Champion Athletics card. And it features Connie Mack in the middle. Connie Mack was the manager. And then it has a kind of a collage of his players, loaded with Hall of Famers. 1910, it was their first World Series win for the Athletics. And so it's kind of loaded with legends of the game. It was a Wanamaker Sporting Goods ad. On the back it talks about the local Wanamaker Sporting Goods store, I guess. But at the top of it, it says Rev Connie Mack, I think. And So I asked him, is that Connie Mack's autograph? And John said he wasn't sure. And he had actually sent it off to PSA DNA to get dual graded. And they said that they were unable to authenticate the autograph or the signature or the handwriting as Connie Mack's. And PSA was unable or unwilling to slab the card at all, for whatever reason. But he decided to send it off to SGC to see if they would slab it as authentic or give it a grade. And SGC, as you know, has like a 2 to 3 day turnaround time at this point. And so I said, okay, I can't wait for this. I'll check back in with you in a week or so. A couple weeks went by, and I messaged John. I said, hey, have you heard anything? And he said, no, nothing. And so at this point, I start thinking back about how SGC sometimes, or PSA, will sometimes need to bring in consultants. And I'm gonna confirm this week. I think it's really interesting. So SGC is grading experts, but there are some cards that they can't possibly have an expert for. They need to have thousands, all right, maybe dozens of actual vintage card experts, different people on staff, only to authenticate incredibly rare cards that come through once every couple of years. So I wondered, is SGC consulting with an outside expert? I hope to have an answer for this week, and I will report that back very, very soon. But I think that's what must have happened, because this card took over a month for SGC to grade when they're quoting a few days turnaround time on average, and we're seeing it all the time. You send in even 1950s, 1960s cards, you're getting them back in a week, door to door, home to SGC, back to home again in a week, maybe 2 weeks at the most. So it was surprising when it took SGC so long, but I suspect that they just had to consult with some experts since there was 0 examples of this ever being graded before. In fact, there's only one other example known to have sold on the internet or seen on the internet, and that one sold for $270 in a small auction in 2018. So this one is a different example of the same card, only 2 known. And so these cards are pretty big. They're 4.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches high. John found this one in a small niche. I never get the pronunciation of this word right. Niche auction house. Somebody's going to throw a comment in there about this. Out of North Carolina. And they don't normally do a lot of sports stuff, sports memorabilia, but they had a small section of sports memorabilia, and he picked this card up, as well as the 1963 Masters badge. And the 1963 Masters was Jack Nicklaus's first Masters win. It was his second major. And John bought this as well. Obviously, he's a golf memorabilia collector, and he got this graded by PSA. Came back a 7. There are only 2 in the PSA Pop Report, 1 higher. So pretty cool piece of memorabilia for John to pick up there. And John does this. He buys baseball cards like this Connie Mack Champion Athletics card, even though he's not a baseball card collector, but he knows the sport and he knows that he can buy things cheaply and then turn them around and sell them for a profit to support his golf card and memorabilia collection. So he did get this card back. It was authenticated by SGC. It's pretty awesome that you go from none ever graded before. I would love to have a card that has never been graded before, like something that's valuable. I don't want to send off like a 2020, I don't know, something that's completely worthless just to get it to be a Pop 1. But John has a legitimate card that is a Pop 1. He's asking $1,200, or was. I don't know if he sold it already. This was March 18th, I think. Trying to sell it for $1,200, which seems very reasonable to me for a Pop 1 113-year-old card. But yeah, check it out. I think it's very cool. John Morton on Twitter. He also just bought a small or some sort of a collection of autographed cards. One of them, if you follow me, I love Sports Illustrated for Kids cards, and he has a Tiger Woods that is autographed. And Tiger is a tough autograph because I think he has a exclusive contract with Upper Deck. But this one, John says, is Tiger's early career signature. It was inscribed, personalized to Ashley, and John got this as part of a collection that he bought, sent it off to PSA, got it authenticated, one of just 3. SI for Kids, this is from 1996, autographed by Tiger. It came back a PSA 4 on the card, authentic on the autograph. And so just one of 3, pretty awesome. John is told me the price privately. I'm not going to share that because I don't want to hurt his attempts to sell it. Seems reasonable. He had comps of the other 2, or at least one of them that had sold recently, and why he had chosen this price. Seemed reasonable, but well out of my price range. So I'm wishing John good luck on that. I do daily sports card content. Click that subscribe button if you're new here, or if you've watched some of my videos before and you just haven't clicked subscribe yet, click that subscribe. I appreciate it. This week I have more videos than anticipated. I will be putting out probably daily videos, and probably again thinking about a streak, which is a disaster. But yeah, I mean, as I approach 4,000 subscribers, I'm going to end up doing another live feed with a live stream with my diehard subscribers and anybody else who wants to join. It'll be fun. We had a lot of fun last time. Let me know, what do you think about this Connie Mack card? Had you ever seen this before? Probably not, I'm guessing. Thanks very much for watching.